Yo, as you see by the title, we're gonna be doing what if Deku was toothless, I guess, or had Night Fury powers. How to Train Your Dragon franchise is probably my favorite movie since birth. So yeah. Now, if you guys are fans like me, I don't even got to explain his powers. All right. So there's but I'm still do it anyway. There's ultra strength, ultra speed, breathe fire, the plasma breath, plasma mode, of course, electricity control, electricity manipulation, the fangs. Deku could also turn into like a night fury, I guess you could say, and any other dragon quirks will automatically obey him because he is the king of all dragons. As you know, he's the alpha dragon. So yeah, I'll be right back. I'm finna finish off this dragon fruit because I don't want you guys to hear me chewing. So yeah. Alright, I'm back. Oh yeah, and I also got the ships planned out. Yeah, there's gonna be 2 ships because, let's just say, dragons need 2 mates. So yeah. So we skip to the quirk doctor, right? And Deku, he's excited, and so is his mother, right? Because she knows that Deku has always had enhanced strength and speed, so she thinks that his quirk is like a enforcement quirk. But the doctor just comes in with his jaw dropped. He's like, "Man, you hit the jackpot with this kid." She's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "His quirk, it's called Night Fury." And let's say everybody knows about Night Furies because they was like the strongest breed of dragons in North mythology, and they was the alpha dragon, and they was let's just say they were Zeus's pets, all right. And then she's like, "Wait, like the ones from North mythology?" He's like, "Yeah." And then she's like, "Give me his pet powers. He can transform it into one, transform his body into one. He can make wings. He has plasma blast, plasma scales, full electricity control. He has," and he just goes down the list. And she's just shook. She's like, "My son is that strong? Well, dang." Now we go to Deku's first day of school, right? And Deku walks in. Him and Bakugo's friends, since Bakugo knows that Deku got a quirk, and he's not like really a deep. So yeah, Deku, he's like, "Hi, my name is Izu." Oh yeah, and his nickname is Ryu, but Bakugo calls him Deku because I'm gonna just make it like that because I want to. He's like, "My name is Izuku Midoriya, and my likes, I like, soba, and I like dongo, and my dislikes are nothing." And he says his quirk is called Night Fury, goes over to your powers, and everyone's like sick, especially Bakugo. He's like, "Wow, Ryu, That's so cool, you know? So he sits down, and then a girl comes in. She's blonde haired. She has blonde hair, green eyes. Now, they're only like 4, alright? So, yeah. Her name is, she walks up, she's like, "Hi, my name is Chinami Tatsuma. Yeah, the daughter of the, I think, number 8 hero, the dragon hero. Yeah, she's the daughter of that. So then, she's like, yeah, my name is da 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 da. My likes are dragons and water. My dislikes are fire. My quirk is called Water Dragon." And everybody looks at Deku like, you ain't the only one with a dragon quirk I see. And then she explains the powers, and then she like, for this next one, I might as well just show you. Then she summons like a toothless size water dragon, and it comes, it sits next to her for like a few seconds, then it walks up to Deku. Everybody's thinking, oh, this finna be a square off, and then the dragon bows, and Deku, he's a bit scared, like freaked out. But then everybody else like, is this guy like the freaking alpha dragon? Which he is, but yeah. So now, Deku, he trains, alright? He's been training a lot. And now we have, I guess, a travel skip. Like, we go to the Bermuda Triangle. There, we go inside, and behind a waterfall, there's a beautiful cave filled with crystals and dragons. They all wake up because they sense a really strong dragon, I guess. And then they all start to get busy, with the children. And then 4 night furies, alright? I'm gonna name them later. Like 2 night furies and 2 light furies, alright? And night furies are male, light furies is female, so yeah. They're 4 years old, they're just thinking like, who is this strong? It feels like our kind of power. So then, Deku's been training 4 years later. Oh yeah, and due to the Night Fury, he's pretty toned, Yeah, he's pretty toned. So yeah, Deku, we have a 5-year time skip. Deku's 9. And, this is just basically like a little piece of story. Deku, he's just thinking of like a hero costume for when he becomes a hero. And hold on, I'm gonna post it up now. And his costume kind of looks like this. Just no pivot leg. He has the sword, and yeah. And he thinks of it. He's like, yo, that'll be cool. And then he's a pretty good drawer, so he just starts to sketch it on his paper. Now we have a 5-year time skip. Deku is now 14, I believe. Yes, he is 14. So they're the last day of school, right? Deku, he's been wanting to ask Chinami out for a long time. Alright, but not knowing that, and she also wanted to ask him out for a long time, right? So class ends. Oh wait, but first, the teacher, Jidu. Alright, so the paper toss, and then like, ooh, Ryu and Bakugo want to go to UA. And Bakugo's like, yeah, me and Deku's gonna be the only, me and Ryu's gonna be the only one getting in. And then, Deku, he's modest and humble. He's like, Kanchan, what about Chinami? She got a pretty strong quirk. And Bakugo's like, yeah, maybe her too. So, Deku, he goes up to the roof, right? Because that's where he goes, and he would go up there till night. Now, Chinami, she is sitting on the swings, right? Yeah, we're switching to her perspective in the schoolyard, right? And she's thinking, man, I wonder if Ryu likes me. I wonder when should I ask him on a date, you know? And then Deku, he just thinking the same thing. So he starts to set up to go find her, and she does. But then Deku stops because he's like, nah, wait a bit longer. Deku sits back down, and as soon as he sits down, Chinami walks through the door to the roof. And Chinami's like, hey Deku, I got something to ask you. And Deku, he's like, yeah, I got something to ask you too. Then at the same time, they both say, will you go out with me, Deku? And then, Deku says, will you go out with me, Chinami? And they both look up like, wait, what you say? Like in one of the movies. And then Chinami asks Deku again. She says, will you go out with me? And Deku, he says, yeah, but let's go tomorrow because mom's gonna be worried if I don't return home and if I get home late. So yeah. Then they hear a explosion, and they're thinking like, yo, there's only one person with explosions that big. Minami says Bakugo, and Deku says Kacchan at the same time, So then Minami, she summons a dragon to take her, and then Deku just activates his wings, and they're flying off. Deku says, Minami, I want you to go help the people and take out the fire. I'll deal with the sludge villain, right? So Minami does that, and Deku, my guy, does like a freaking Spider-Man spin while he's going down, and like he just spinning in the air like how Toothless does with Hiccup. And then everybody just sees someone just spinning. They're like, who is that? And Deku just lands in front of the sludge villain. And everybody's like, this kid is stupid. What the frick is he doing? Do you think he could take him on by himself? So then Deku, all you hear him, no, you don't even hear him. All you see is his hair turns blue, but it's glowing. And some scales go around his hands. And Deku, and they're blue. And then Deku just opens his mouth, and all you hear is, and the sludge villain is just ashes. And Deku grabs Bakugo, tosses him to the heroes, and the sludge villain, there was a tiny piece left. He manages to rebuild himself. And while Deku, helping Bakugo, the sludge villain attacks Deku and grabs him, right? So Deku, he goes unconscious, right? But then next thing you hear is just 4 whistles, and then it's the Night Fury, Light Fury. They blast the Sledge villain back. Now Deku, he's still in his plasma form, and so are the Furies. So next thing you see is just freaking 4 dragons standing next to Deku, and the heroes they're like, what is this his quirk? And then Bakugo and Chinami says at the same time, Alpha Dragon. Oh yeah, Night Fury is his quirk. And I guess he can control dragons as well. Cool. And then Deku, he looked up to dragons. He's like, Night Furies. And then they nod because Night Furies are really smart, of course. Pretty much all dragons and how to train your dragon is smart, but yeah. So Deku gets grabbed by the dragon. They pick him up with his feet and they just fly off to a cave. And everybody's like, did that kid get kidnapped by dragons? And we skip to the cave. Deku, he's thinking like, why do you guys hate me? And then one of them speak. Now, they're not speaking to him in his mind. They're using like a ability they learned. They learned to project their thoughts into the air so people could hear them. Alright? So yeah. One of them speaks, he's like, hey boss, or hey. And then Deku's like, yo, how the frick are you speaking? He's like, yeah, I got, and all dragons have a ability to be able to project their thoughts. Yo, my hairline is messed up right now, bro. But yeah. So, Deku's like, cool. So, why did you bring me here? And then they're like, we needed a private place to talk, boss. And Deku's like, why boss? They're like, oh, you don't know, you're the Alpha Dragon. Deku's like, wait, what? And then one of them asks, how are you able to use your powers, but you're just a human? And Deku's like, well, my quirk. And they're like, what's quirks? Deku explains, and then they're like, so that's how you're able to use your powers. So, he's like, yeah. So then they talk, and then Deku, he like, I gotta go. And then they're like, do you need a ride, boss? And Deku's like, I can grow wings, but thanks. And then Deku, and then one of them say, where's your wings? And then Deku grows wings out of his back. So like, cool. And then one of them says, wait, at least summon us when you need us. And then Deku's like, how do I summon you guys? And then the dragon says, oh, just call out our name and we'll come. Deku's like, what's your name? And then the biggest Night Fury says his name's Toothless. One of the Light Fury says my name is Yua. And Yua means blinding love. And then the other Night Fury said his name is Hiccup. And the last Light Fury name is Astrid. Yeah, because I just want to, add some things on how to train your dragon. And, yeah, the freaking principal, Deku's teacher's name was Stoic, alright? Yeah. So, yeah. Now, Deku flies off. He's like, alright, I'll summon you guys when I need you, alright? And then, yeah. Now, we skip to the next day, alright? Deku's dressed up, all fancy, got his little Balenciaga shoes on or whatever. And my guy, walking up to Chinami's house. And he knocks on the door, well, is about to knock on the door. And somebody walks out. Is Mr. Tatsumi, Chinami's father. And, he's like, honey, I'm leaving. And then he sees Deku, he's like, yo, kid, what you doing here? You got business here? And then Deku's like, yeah, my name is Izuku Midoriya, and And next thing you know, she just says, she hit, Mr. Tatsumi just hears her daughter yell, "Oh, hey, Deku." And Deku's like, "Hey, Tsunami." And, her father's like, "Who is this kid?" She's like, "Oh, yeah, that's my boyfriend," you know? So then, Deku, and then, Mr. Tatsumi, he's like, well, I hope you can come to dinner with us. And he shakes Deku's hand, he leaves, and then Ryukyu, the number 8 hero, comes down the stairs. Now, Deku, he's watching her come down the stairs as he's in the house, and she's like, Chiyami, well, who's this kid? What's he doing here? And then she's like, "Oh, that's my boyfriend." And then, she's like, you know, and then, they're like, "Hi, I'm Izuku Midoriya." And then he's just thinking, like, "I can't believe I'm dating the number 8 hero's daughter." But he kind of says it out loud. Then, she giggles like, "Oh, well, thanks, kid." And then Deku, he looks up at her. He's like, "I can't believe I'm breathing the same air as a hero." And he just passes out for like a few minutes. And then Chimney wakes up and she's like, Deku, we have a movie to catch." And then Deku's like, "Sorry for fanboying. I'm just a huge hero fan. I even have a notebook of everybody's quirks and the flaws of their quirks." And then Ryukyu's like, okay. Thanks, kid." And then, Deku leaves. And him and Chinami, they go to the movies. It's like a little horror romance movie. They leave, they go to an arcade, then they go to not dinner, but like lunch. Then, it's getting pretty late. They're like, "Hey, let's go back to your house, Chinami." So then, Deku comes in, he's like, well, they both knock, like, yeah, so then, Mr. Tatsumi opens the door, he sees Deku, like, "Oh, Izuku." He's like, "Oh no, just call me Ryu." And then Ryukyu hears this, she's like, "Why?" He's like, "It's because of my quirk." And she's like, "What's your quirk?" He's like, "It's called Night Fury." And her jaw drops, alright? Because, since she has a dragon quirk, and she got really interested in dragons. So she like Googled all the dragons, and then she's like, "Wait, like the Night Fury from Norse mythology?" Yeah, then Deku goes over the powers, and it's to the T. And he even shows her his powers. She's like, "Oh, if this kid marries my daughter, we will be the strongest freaking people alive, bro." And then, yeah, she's like, "All right, Ryu, come and sit down and eat with us." Well, like a historical, like kind of like chuckle, like, and then, yeah, they just talking and talking, and then, Deku and Chinami, Deku says, "All right, well, I gotta go," and Chinami's like, "All right, bye, Deku-kun. Ryu-kun, or Izuku-kun, whichever y'all want to put, but I'm gonna just be calling him Deku because that's what I'm used to calling him." So yeah, but and then she's like, "All right, bye, Ryu," and then Deku's like, "All right, bye, Chinami," and then they hug and leave, and Deku, he gets home and explains everything to his mom. She's just proud. She's like, "My boy is all grown up." And then, yeah. So then Deku, he, let me think. He signs up for Yue, right? But the next day he goes to retrieve his backpack because he left his backpack. So yeah, he signs up for Yue, and yeah. Now instead of a 10-month, we have a year, all right? Cause let's just say it's not no normal high school. It starts a year after. So yeah, giving the students time to train their quirks, or the first years at least. So Deku, he's training, with the Night Furies. Yeah, he went to the little dragon world for the year, and Deku's like, oh yeah, mom, I'm going to a training camp to train my quirks, and then she's like, oh okay, Deku, and then Deku leaves and he summons Toothless. And Toothless comes down in soaring winds. He's like, yes, boss. And then Deku's like, don't call me boss. Call me, big bro, young master, or something. He's like, alright. Deku even said, just call me Ryu or something. And then Toothless is like, okay, Ryu. And then Deku's like, alright, so take me to, your little world so we could train. And then Ryu's like, you got it. Toothless like, you got it, Ryu. And then Deku goes to the little world, And Deku, he gets there and all the dragons there just bow in his presence. And then Deku's like, whoa, so many dragons. But I thought all dragons died all those years ago. And then Toothless says, well, the majority of us died, but the rest of us found this secret place, and we've been living here for over 13 billion years, sleeping. And Deku's like, oh my gosh, wow, do you guys even eat? And he's like, no, we haven't eaten. And then Deku's like, alright, hold on, I'll be right back. Then he spawns his wings and flies off. And he goes to the meat market and spends, I'd say, $10,000 worth of meat. All right. Everybody's like, well, dang, why do this kid need so much meat? And then Deku's like, just keep the change, all right. And he flies back, and he gives the dinosaurs the raw meat. And they're all like, thank you, Lord. And it's like the best thing they've ever had, because they're used to eating freaking rabbits and half dragon fishes and humans. Well, sometimes humans that attack them, So yeah, Deku's like, oh, no problem. And then Deku's training with all the dragons, but mainly the Night Fury. Well, not all the dragons, just the Night Fury and a few other stealth dragons, right? Yeah. And Deku learns how to, use electricity, and him and Toothless come up with like a combo move, right? So here's what the combo move do. They both fly up into the air, right? And a lightning storm both hits them both, and they start spinning down at incredible speeds. And then while they're doing that, they're charging up like a, I guess, plasma blast in their mouth, and they shoot it off. Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah. So, Deku, hold on. I say it, so many times, hold on. So, yeah. With him, the year is up. Deku goes back to his house, and my guy is refined, ripped, like he's everything in the book of freaking hot, bro. Yeah. And then Izuku's mom's like, Izuku, is that you? And Becky's like, yep, it's me, mom. She's like, are you sure he's like, yep, it's me, and I'm gonna be the #1 hero. Believe it. Yeah, freaking Naruto reference. So Deku, he goes to sleep, gets dressed, and I hate the color gray, so they get dressed in black. Well, he gets dressed in black because they have two things. Deku's the only one wearing black, alright, because everybody else goes normal gray. Yeah. Chidami, she sees Deku walking up. She yells Deku, and then Deku looks, and he's like, "Oh, Chidami, what's up?" And then Chidami hugs him. He's like, "Hey, Deku." And then Deku's like, "You wanna walk with me to I guess the gates where the entrance exam starts?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then Deku, he trips. He's like, "I'm a failure." And then Chidami catches him, and they're talking. Ito walks up, bro. He's like, "Hey, you should stop bothering that girl from making her goals. Are you trying to distract her?" And Deku's like, "Dude, calm down, bro. She's my girlfriend." And Ito's like, "Oh, my bad." "Yeah, but you're still talking to her." He's like, "Yeah, we were talking because I tripped and I'm nuts." And then Ito's like, "Oh, sorry." And then, yeah, they go and, Deku is talking, but Ito don't mess with him. And, yeah, the written exam starts. Deku gets 95. 95 right now. He's like, "Who got ahead of me?" There, he looks and he sees the person, and it's Momo Yajirozu. Yeah, I'm gonna do a Momo ship in this, cause dragons need two mates, alright? So then Deku, he automatically jaw drops, bro, cause she is a definition of the tallest glass of water, and Deku just needs to take a sip. You feel me? And Deku, he's like, "Oh, so you're the one that got above me?" And she's like, "Oh, hi." And when she sees Deku, I swear to God, bro, she just thinks of just like rubbing his abs and just, yeah, bro, I'm not even gonna explain. And then she snaps out of it. She's like, "Oh, so you must be Izuku Midori." He's like, "Yeah, I'm shocked anyone was able to get ahead of me, cause I've always been like the smartest in my class." And like I was actually the smartest in my whole school, to be honest. And she's like, "Oh, for real?" Now she sees that face, and she's like, "Wait. Aren't you the guy from the news that was kidnapped by dragons?" And everybody looks. She's like, "Yeah, that's him. Because people was recording it, and it's like, "I wasn't kidnapped. They was my summonings." And they're like, "Wait, what, summoning?" "Yeah, my quirk is Night Fury, and I can summon other dragons, because I'm the alpha dragon." And then everybody's like, "Wait, Night Furies are the king of all dragons." "Wait, but how are dragons still alive?" "Some of them died off, but the rest of them is hidden in a secret place that I'm not going to tell you." "Yeah, I will never tell you." And then everybody's like, "Why wouldn't you tell us?" Who knows who's listening, bro? The CIA freaking experimental department could be listening, and I do not want my friends, my family, to get taken and experimented on or killed. And they're like, agreeable. So then that ends, and they're now at the practical exam, and everybody that don't know Deku's quirk that was in another room's like, "Oh, he looks weak. He probably handsome and pretty buff, but what could he do, right?" So then Deku, he starts jumping like freaking Goku. You feel me? Everybody like, what is he doing? Then Deku just gets spikes coming out of his back and a little bit on his nose. He looks like this. Hold on. He looks like this, just not as scary. Like, his teeth is a bit sharper, and he's not a full night fairy. He got some scales on him. And yeah, Deku, his hair turns blue, like always, and when the person says go, Deku just zips off in like blue plasma lightning with like little stardust. And then everybody's like, whoa, he's fat. And he's just ripping through robots. Like Deku just runs past him and the robots just explode. You know? And everyone's like, well, dang, we freaking underestimated him. And then, yeah, Deku got like 300 points, alright? And 300 villain points, I mean. And 150 hero points, alright? So, yeah. And the zero opponent comes. Deku's just about to leave. Then he hears freaking Momo screaming. Yes, not Uraraka, but it's Momo. And Deku's like, dang it. Then Deku sees it. He's like, yeah, I'm not good at my full power, and I don't want it to get messy. So then Deku yells, toothless! And then everybody looks like, what is he yelling? Then next thing you know, they just see some blue light coming down, and it falls on the ground. When the dust clears, they see a dragon next to Deku. He's like, toothless. And then Toothless is like, yes, boss. And then they're like, is he talking? Talking, and then Deku's like, combo move, let's go. And then Toothless makes Deku sit on his back, and they're flying really high, and then lightning strikes them. And then they both jump off, start spinning. Everybody's like, whoa. Even the teachers are like, whoa. And then they're just spinning, and then all you hear is them just charging up a blast. And then, it freaking disintegrates, like melts the freaking robot, and Deku, he jumps down and picks up the rubble off of Uraraka. Now, Deku, when he deactivates his, form, he drops down because it really hurts him. It's pretty taxing, And Deku, everybody's just crowding up around him. They're like, what the frick was that? And then Deku's like, oh, it's my quirk, Night Fury. They're like, yeah, we know that, but what the frick was the dragon for? He's like, it's my summoning Toothless. She's a Night Fury as well. And then they're like, cool, but why Toothless? And then Toothless walks up behind Deku, and he opens his mouth and shows them his retractable teeth. And they're like, So, what's her name comes, Recovery Girl, and, she heals Deku. No, it's not Momo, it's Uraraka, alright? Just because I want to do this, alright? So, Uraraka, she comes to talk to Deku, and then next thing you know, there's this girl, this blonde-headed girl just pushing through the crowd, right? And she's like, and then she's just expecting Deku, and then Uraraka's like, what is she doing? She's like, and then she hugs Deku. She's like, oh good, you're safe. I seen what happened, Deku. Why is Toothless here? And then Deku hugged her back. He's like, oh yeah, I was taking down that big robot, and I'm not good with my powers, so I just used my combo move with Toothless. It was a bit overkill, but it was worth it. I had fun. And she's like, good, and kisses Deku on the cheek. And Uraraka's like, dang, he's taken. Now, Deku's like, I still need one more mate. And then Uraraka, she's like, wait, you heard me? And Deku's like, yes, I'm a freaking animal. I have enhanced senses. Like, how many times do I have to tell people this? You're like the 30th person I told this in the last 3 months. Yeesh. And Uraraka thinking, maybe I can be his other mate. But nah, it's Momo Yajirozu. Now, why Momo of all people? I like Momo. I'm a simp over Momo. She is a definition of a queen. You feel me? Yes, I'm a simp. All right. All right. You can leave your little comments. I don't care. But yeah, they go to class. I mean, they leave and Deku, he just waiting. He's scared that he got too many villain points to pass. And it's All Might himself. He says, I am here in a hologram. Yeah, because his mom does the same thing like in canon with the note. And All Might's like, I am here in a hologram. Young Midoriya, you managed to surpass my score. Ha ha ha. That's the highest score in all of Japan. And All Might's like, and Deku's like, oh my gosh, it's All Might. Because, he is still a freaking fanboy, So, Deku's like, oh my gosh, it's All Might. And then, Deku, and then All Might says, oh yes, also, young Midoriya, meet me at Dekamo Beach this weekend. Like, it's still the week, alright? So he's like, this weekend, young Midoriya, meet me at Dekamo Beach. We have something to talk about. And then the hologram ends. Now we have a 3-day time skip. It's Saturday. Deku goes to Dekamo Beach and he sees All Might. And then All Might's like, young Midoriya. And then blood comes out his mouth and then he transforms into skinny form. And then Deku's like, you imposter, toothless. Toothless comes, Deku's like, All Might's like, no, I'm the real All Might. Then he explains, his injury. And Deku's like, oh, okay. Toothless, watch the gate. And Toothless like, you got it, boss. And then, All Might, he in private talking to Deku. He says, young man, because, Deku, he will do anything for power. Now, he's not a Sasuke. He do not go around getting freaking hickeys from old men. No. Alright? And Deku's like, yes, All Might. And then Deku's like, and then almost like, kid, you want to become strong? Almost like, yes, I want to become the strongest hero. Stronger than you one day. And almost like, good. My sweet child. Like a freaking Hisoka, but he's thinking this in his head. And then Deku's like, so how am I going to get stronger? Almost like, I will give you my quirk. And then Deku's like, wait, what is you doing? And then Deku's like, almost like, no, I don't lose my quirk forever, but it slowly goes away over the years. And Deku's like, are you sure, All Might? Almost like, yeah. Then he explains his quirk and how it's going to strengthen the Deku's quirk tenfold. And Deku's like, say less. Give me the quirk. He don't say that, but that's basically what it says on his face. He's like, say less. And almost like, eat this. And he just gives Deku 5 pieces of his hair, because the more DNA you digest, the stronger it is. Alright? So, he gives him like 6 pieces of his hair. Alright? And Deku's like, alright, here goes nothing. I'm pretty sure that this is not sanitary, but who cares? Audio! Eats it. Swallows it. Oh yeah, and all I'm going to say is One For All becomes a mutation, alright? Since he had a dragon quirk, it becomes a mutation, alright? So, yeah. Deku, he suddenly grows like 5 inches in body mass and muscle. And almost like, yo, what happened? Deku's like, I don't know. And, Deku, yeah. All I'm going to say is Deku, he automatically gets danger sense and float, because he's a dragon, so float will increase his speed, and danger sense would just increase his senses by tenfold. He don't get black black whip, alright? So yeah. Deku's like, I don't know. And then almost like, alright kid, try to use the stored up energy in your body and spread it across your whole body. Alright? And then Deku's like, okay, All Might. And then he does it, but it's not how it's supposed to look. It's blue. Every other user that had a quirk that was a different color was, the same red cosmic color, but it was blue cosmic. And Almight's like, what the frick is this? And then Deku's like, maybe it mutated? And Almight's like, maybe. So then Deku, and then Almight's like, yes, maybe it did mutate, but to what extent? So then Deku's like, I don't know. And Almight's like, alright, do one of your most powerful moves. And Deku says, okay, then his hair turns blue, but it's not only blue, it's blue and red. Deku's like, that's strange, it's never red before. And Almight's like, alright, that's one for all. Wait, are you using one for all? He's like, no, I'm just using my dragon quirk. So then Deku on my automatically knows, so one for all merged with Deku's quirk. So that means that means one for all cannot be passed down. It has to be passed down through bloodline. Yeah. And every bloodline is passed down, the stronger it gets. Yeah. I wonder when will one for all become universal. Yeah. It's gonna need a lot of users. But so Deku's like, wait, so how would I be able to pass this on when I get old? And all my things, maybe it'll be passed down through bloodline like your children. And Deku's like, okay. So then, All Might, he's just training with Deku. Now, All Might can surprisingly match Deku in a fight. And Deku's like, wow, old man, All Might, you can match me in a fight. And All Might's like, well, of course I can, young Midoriya. And, yeah, they're just training, and yeah. We have a 2-day time skip. It is now Monday. Deku, he walks into class, and he sees Bakugo and Ida arguing like, you shouldn't have your foot on the desk, yada yada yada. And then Deku, he just standing there like, and then Chinami runs up. She's like, Deku, and jumps on him and gives him a hug. And then everybody looks. She's like, hey, that's the Dragon Kid. And who's that other girl? And then Uraraka says angrily, that's his mate. And everybody's like, wait, what, mate? He's like, yes, and he needs another one. And all the girls just like, like evil. They're like, I shall be his mate. Now, Deku, he sees everybody just glaring at him. He's like, yo, did I do anything wrong? They're like, no, you just did everything right. So, Deku goes like, okay. And he sits next to Chinami and Momo. And Momo's shocked. She's like, oh my gosh, why would Mr. Perfect sit next to me? Because she don't think Shoto's perfect, alright? No, Deku is. And, Mr. Aizawa comes in. She's like, hunt down maggots. You know, like he does in freaking canon. And yeah, he tells him like go do this and that, and they're in the locker room, right? And Deku doesn't take off his shirt, right? And Kirishima, he's like, yo dude, what kind of training regimen did you have to do to get that kind of bod? And then Deku's like, well, it's kind of my quirk, but I've been training since I was 4, so yeah. And Kaminari's like, well, dang, bro. And then Kirishima's like, yo, how many quirks do you have? Because I seen you use electricity. Deku's like, oh, it's a part of my quirk, since Night Furies can use electricity. And Kaminari thinks about it. He's like, oh, yeah, they can, can't they? Yeah. Now, now they go outside. As Alice says, alright, if one of you guys fail, you get expelled. Alright. Now he tosses Deku the ball. He says, first, throw it without your quirk. Deku says, okay. Then my guy caught back and pitches. That thing goes a good 400 meters. And as I was like, he shows it to the class. They're like, no way he wasn't using his quirk. So then Aizawa says, fine, I'll cancel it out. So then, Deku, Aizawa, you know, makes his things left up. And they all know that he's using his quirk, cancels it out. Deku throws it again. He got 545 meters. Then Aizawa shows him. They're like, oh my gosh, he is so strong. And then Aizawa says, now do it with your quirk. Alright? And Aizawa's like, don't do it too far, cause you won't be able to use it, cause we're running out of balls. Alright? So Deku throws it. He gets 99999. Is right about to go infinite. And then Deku says, toothless! Then Toothless just zips past and grabs the ball and bring it back. And, you know, spits it in Deku's hand. And then Deku gives it to Aizawa. Aizawa's like, what was that for? It was about to go infinite, but Toothless won't be able to go out of the atmosphere, so yeah. And Aizawa was like, okay. Yeah. Deku aces everything else, alright? 100%. Oh yeah. Let me think of what I'm gonna make Deku's hero name. His name's gonna be Raiden. So Deku. Alright. So they go back to class, you know. They do what they do in canon. And we skip to the next day, alright? Deku, he's just there, you know, talking to Chinami and Momo, right? And then Aizawa wakes up, he's like, alright guys, so we are going to be doing, and then All Might just glitzes in, he's like, I am here in a weird position, like he says in canon. And then Midori's like, oh my. And everybody hears his voice just go up a pitch. They're like, what the frick was that? And then Deku's like, it's All Might. And they're like they like snort, like, oh my gosh. All Might's like, we will be doing a hero versus villains thingy majigger, whatever it's called. Yeah. So then, yeah, so Deku, he gets his hero suit. Now it's not exactly like Hiccups because it's a bit more modern. So yeah, it looks a bit nicer, shows off his abs and stuff, right? Now everybody's like, yo, that's a cool looking hero costume. Now when Deku is in his hero costume, he's always in his plasma mode, alright? Because his hero costume activates it by itself, alright? Yeah, because it's made with Deku's skin, alright? Well, some of Deku's skin is in it, alright? So yeah. And they know, you know, the mode. They're like, why are you in your plasma mode? They like, since his suit has my skin in it, or my scales, my plasma mode automatically activates. And they're like, oh, okay. Cool. So yeah. The teams are, hero team is Deku and Chinami versus Kaminari and the Dark Shadow Kid, alright? So yeah. What a horrible matchup, right? For the villains. But yeah. So Deku, he does blitzes out of there. He's freaking carrying Chinami Bridal style because he's running so fast, right? And then he gets up there and he just let Chinami do some fighting because you don't want to hear nobody's mouth like, oh, you ain't let her fight, you ain't give her no job to do. So then Deku lets her fight a bit. Then Deku walks in. He just summons Toothless and Yuma just to block them because they're freaking scared. And Deku just touches the bomb. And then Momo, she's shocked. She's like, well, he's like so cool. And he also purposely not fight because he wanted his teammate to, you know, have some fun, I guess. And get some credit. And I like how he tried to keep damage to a low. And then everybody just sees her with like sparkles in her eyes. She's like, ah! Yeah. And everybody's like, fangirl. Earth the fangirl. And then she snaps out. She's like, and then almost like, hero team wins. And then, what's her name? All Might says, alright, who is the MVP of this match? She's like, well, they gotta give it to Izuku. He let his teammate, I guess you could say, get some credit for her work. Also, he kept casualties and damage to a minimum. And he also didn't show his wild card. So, almost like, why does that count? She's like, never reveal your power too early on because you don't know who's watching. Almost like, you're right. You are right. So, yeah. So everybody else go like in canon. You know, except for Bakugo and some randos, right? yeah, yeah. So then, they go back in class, and what did they do when they get back in class? Alright, so Naruto and Chinami is talking. I wonder if they got closed captions on this video. That'd be cool. But let's think. I gotta read my script again. Yeah, I'm not going off of head this time. Alright, so Deku, he tells Mayumi if they wanna go to another movie, cause he got some time to waste this weekend. And Momo hears this, she's like, dang it, I wanted to go with him this weekend. And she's Taima, I think her name was. I already forgot her name. She says, actually I can't because I have to go to my mother's hero assembly. So yeah, he's like, oh, okay, that's fine. And then Momo smirks and she's like, this is my time to strike. So then, Tayama leaves, and Deku, he's walking the opposite way. Momo comes behind him and says, hey, Deku. Ryu. And Deku's like, why you just called me Ryu? You normally call me Izuku. And then something in his head saying, kid, you're so dense. And Deku's like, yo, what's up, Momo-chan? Like, I don't know how you're gonna say her name with Chan. It sounds weird, but yeah, let's just say she said that she's like, okay. So then, Mom was like, well, Deku, I could, take up that movie with you, if you don't mind. Deku, he automatically goes, say less. You feel me? And, yeah. Yeah, they go to the movie, do the same thing they did. Him and, Taima did. And, yeah. Tomorrow, and then the next day, before school, Deku walks in, right? Well, walks to school, and both Momo and Taima is waiting for Deku. And Deku's like, oh snap, I didn't tell her that I got a second mate. Cause it's been like a hot week now, so yeah. So then, Taima, she got Deku's arm, she's like, hey Deku, good to see you. It's been a week since we last talked. Deku's like, yeah, I have. And then Momo grabs Deku's other arm. She's like, yeah, Deku, it's been a few days since we last talked. And Taima's like, she looks at Deku. She's like, Now she's thinking, I will not let this demon cat pass me. And then Mom's like, I will not let this demon witch take Deku away from me. He will be mine and mine alone, So, Deku, he's like so embarrassed because the girls just keep getting closer and closer to him. No, do you watch your class? Everybody like, yo, not Momo too. And Deku's like, sorry. Everybody like, nah. And then Mineta, being the pervert he is just staring at him. And Taima and Momo kind of hide behind Deku. And Deku just glares at Mineta like a death glare. And Manetta, he passes out after peeing his pants, and everybody just goes, "Dang, what did Manetta ever do to you?" He's like, "No, not what he did to me." And everybody's like, "You know what? I'm not even gonna ask, bro." so, so, yeah. Now we're going to go to UA. All right. During the bus, Deku's sitting in between Kaima and Momo. Every Deku, what if will have a Momo ship, alright? And it's always going to be Momo Deku. Alright, just know that. So, Deku's sitting in between Momo and Chima. And, they're just waiting on him. And then, after we just, starts going around asking people's quirks. And she gets a Deku. And she's like, yeah, what is everything you could do with your quirk? Now, Deku, he don't got the wind pressure and stuff, cause his one for all kind of merged with his quirk. So yeah, basically, I guess you could say one for all will always be on. So he's kind of increased his already super strength and super speed. So yeah, he's like, well, I have super strength, super speed, super senses, fast regeneration. I can summon, Toothless, Yuma, Astrid, and Hiccup, my Night Furies. Well, two Night Furies and 2 Light Furies. And I got my combo move with Toothless. Let me think. I can control electricity. I can grow wings. I have my plasma mode. So yeah, my quirk is pretty strong, I guess you could say. Now nobody really knows what Chima's quirk is, so they ask her, and then us we ask, "Hey Chima, what's your quirk?" And everybody looks like, "Yeah, what is it?" She's like, "My quirk is Water Dragon." And then she explains her quirk and how her quirk obeys everything Deku says because, Deku is the king of dragons. And then they're like, "Well, perfect couple each." And mom's like, "Hey, what about me? Man, I'm one of Deku's mates." And then they all look and freeze, cause they forgot. And they're like, "Oh yeah, you are." Wow. And then well, my quirk is creation. I can create things with the lipids in my body. You know? Yeah. So, so Deku, he gets off the bus because they reach the USA. And Deku's like, "Aizawa, how many people are supposed to be in there?" And Aizawa's like, "Oh, just us 13 and oh my." And Deku's like, "Okay, I have a strange feeling." Aizawa's like, "You're just paranoid, kid." And it kind of goes a lot like in canon. All Might's not there. And villains come, Ida, he doesn't get away right away. Yeah, so Deku yells, "Yuma, Toothless!" No, he says Astrid, Toothless. Because, Astrid's a Light Fury and Toothless is a Night Fury. So he's like, "Astrid, Toothless!" And then they just come soaring through the sky. And anybody who didn't see it is just amazed. And then he's like, "Get him!" Like, Astrid, get the mini ones. Toothless, get the big bird looking thing. The Nomu. And Toothless, he enters the form you see him in now. And everyone's like, wait, he could use the same power as Deku? Because, like, dude, my power is based off of their powers. And everybody's like, oh yeah. So their power is going to always be stronger than mine. So yeah. How are you the king? So how are you the king then? Because I have another quirk that makes it stronger than theirs. Okay, okay. What's that quirk? It's called Amplifier. And it merged with my quirk, making my quirk Amp. Yeah, so basically it's 10 times because I recently awakened my Amplifier quirk, so it merged with my body. Yeah. Because my Amplifier quirk comes in the form of a blade. And whatever I cut with the blade, it gets amplified. And it could literally be a scratch, but as long as there's a tiny bit of blood and the blade touches the blood, it'll get amped. But I kind of stabbed myself by accident because I was sleeping and I rolled over on it. And yeah, they're like, ugh, that must hurt. I'm like, nah, I don't really feel it since I got enhanced muscles, but it ended up merging with me. So yeah. And they're like, cool. Now to the fight, alright? Toothless, he's fighting the Nomu. The Nomu, its brain is covered with like with the same skin, right? So Toothless like, I can't strike the brain.
They burrow under the skin, and they live under the skin, and worms come out and they crawl under my skin, and they get into my nose and my face, my knuckles. They start to form little warts on my knuckles.
Let me think. Hold on. I'm trying to think. Sorry. Yeah. So Deku, he sees Toothless struggling. Now, Astrid, she took it down a little small one, and she's just standing next to Deku waiting for his orders. Deku said, Yuma, protect the other students at all costs. Right? So then Deku, he goes out, he enters plasma mode, right? And everyone's just like so cool because it's so cool how he enters plasma mode. Like his hair starts to turn blue and his body starts to increase a bit bigger. But this time he gets struck by lightning. And then he just sends a piece of lightning at the Nomu's head. He's like, Toothless, hit the brain. And Toothless goes, hit the brain. And then, yeah, that's the end of that. Pretty easy, pretty simple. And yeah, Mom was like, Deku, you saved us. Oh my gosh, yay. And then all the heroes come and they just see Momo and Chinami just jumping on top of Deku, giving him a hug, like, you saved us. And they're all like, oh wow. So there was no point in us coming. Because Ida ends up escaping, but not like right then. But yeah. Kind of like in the anime. Oh yeah, let me exit this out. Huh? Alright. Man, I'm tired. I love sleep. If there was a superpower called sleep, I would be the best user of it. So yeah. So Deku, it's a mating season, alright. And he's going crazy, alright? So, let me explain. The first day of mating season, Deku is getting these crazy headaches. You feel me? Like, that thing is crazy. And Deku, first thing he does is he calls Momo. Nah, he calls Chinami. Chinami comes and comes over to his house, and Deku's like, you wanna watch a movie and chill? And then Chinami's like, sure, Deku. And then they watch a movie and Deku goes full redo the healer on her, bro. Like I'll get into specifics, alright? So first Deku's like, she's like, oh well, I gotta go, Deku. And Deku's like, nah, we got a guest room, you can stay. You can stay. And she's like, oh, okay, Deku. And then basically from there, it's redo the freaking healer, alright? Now, Deku's hair is gone, so she just stays the whole weekend because Deku's parents, they're at a festival, I guess you could say, a festival. And yeah, she just ends up staying the weekend. Next, Mama, same thing happens. Redo the freaking healer. Days the weekend, the next weekend. And Deku's like, alright, finally. Cause once you get done the headache leave, then the person gets marked with the internal seal of lust. So yeah. So the next day they go to school, you know, and Aizawa says, alright guys, you will be now Deku, he's not wearing his hero costume, and Aizawa's like, alright guys, today you will be doing a training lesson with your hero costumes. And then All comes, he says, I am here, ha ha ha. Then he opens up a little wall thing and all the hero costumes. Mama puts hers on, Deku's jaw dropped. Chinami puts hers on. Deku just falls on the floor with a freaking nosebleed. And Deku, he puts on his. Everybody's like, dude, so covering, bro. And then Deku, he's like, covering, alright? Then he just takes out the armor part, like the armor shirt, and it's basically just like a muscle shirt, and it's just squeezing his muscles. They're like, no, too much muscle. Cover it back. No. And and yeah, they go out and they're like, alright, you'll show us everything you could do with the quirk. And Doug's like, why? And then as I was like, because if you're gonna be heroes, you must show your comrades everything you can do, no secret. And Doug's like, alright, sure. Then Chinami shows hers. Deku is shocked. She's like, when did she even learn this? It's basically like Deku's plasma mode, but it's water. Her hair turns blue, and yeah. So then everybody goes, and then it's Deku's turn. Alright, Deku's the last one. They're like, this should be cool, and it is. Alright, so Deku, he enters full power mode. Alright, 100% one for all, full cowling. And his hair turns freaking blue and red, alright? And, Deku gets struck by a lightning. And lightning is just radiating off of him. Now, so then, everybody's like, yo, the frick is going on with this guy? How many power do you have? Deku's like, oh yeah, and also, Deku's quirk, it has a hidden ability. It's called Whispering Nightmare, and that's what Deku's doing with the plasma mode and lightning. This is called Whispering Nightmare. It's basically my quirk pushed to its limits. Like I'm doing full power everything. Then Deku starts to transform into, toothless, basically. And then they're like, yo, cool. This is freaking sick. So then Decky's like, yeah, thanks. And then he goes back into his human form. And this is where I'm gonna end the video off, guys. Please like and subscribe. And comment down below. Comment down below, this guy is a simp. And yeah, peace.